Hi everyone. So today is September 29, 2021 and I started my day knowing that I was going to be leaving Accuray, I don't know how to pronounce it, and heading to Lake Mitrin, don't know how to pronounce that either, and there is a lot to do that's out in this area. So I wanted to basically just plan to spend the day out here, well actually probably 2 days out here in this area, because there's just so many different things that you can access close to this lake. So I get out here and I passed a sign that had pictures of guys that were dressed up like Santa Claus. I'm gonna try to pronounce it. Dimmabugar. Dimmubugir. It's right here. Here's the lake. Okay, over here. I was driving this way and saw this thing, and Raza had told me that there was like a garden or something that was out here in this area, and I saw no signs for a garden, but I saw this. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to drive back there. Well, there was a huge parking lot and tons of people, and people were getting out, and then you would go to this trail. Well, there was this big trailhead, and it had a lot like I have in, the ones that I see in Alaska, where they show you a map and it's like, okay, the trail goes here, but then there's like 4 trails. So this one's, this color, and then another color, another color, another color, depending on how far you want to hike. But they're all paths, like they have markers, like wooden markers with that color of the path. Anyway, so, and it says on the picture, it says that they go in a circle. Like if you start on the red path, it will make a circle and come back to where you started. And all of the paths looked like they did that. So I set out on the path, and you'll see the videos. Oh yeah, I took lots of videos because it was beautiful. It wasn't a garden. If it was a garden, it was a lava garden, because it was just these lava formations that were absolutely breathtaking. And I just kept walking because I knew I was on a path, and it was so beautiful. Well, the signs that would periodically show up, that would be like, okay, you're on this path, but now we're at a junction where that path also takes over. They started to look worse. Like they didn't actually have like all of the writing on them. There would be missing information, and I just kept trying to find the one that had the P on it with a circle around it, which I assumed meant parking. And I just kept going toward that one. Well, I eventually got to an intersection where the P was gone, and I didn't know where to go. And so I just picked a path. Well, that path might have been a path, but I got lost, and I'm still processing it, because even in Alaska I've never gotten lost before. But I had no idea where I was going. The path that I ended up on was not, it was more like a trail, not a path. So a footpath, in other words. And there was 2 feet of snow. So it got to the point where it was harder to see the path. And I just kept walking. I was like, I'm like, this makes a circle. It makes a circle. I'm going to end up back where I started. And yet I didn't. I just kept going. And I eventually realized that I was lost. And then I had no clue where this path was really going. And I knew I couldn't panic. I did not take anything to eat or drink with me because I thought I was making a circle. And that I wouldn't be gone long. And I finally got to the point that all I could see was lava. I couldn't see a path. The markers were not very clear. I would like pick up a marker and I would go, and then I would lose it. And I'd have to backtrack and find that marker again, and then just like look to try to find where the other marker was. That happened a few times. But I just have to like say that an experience like that, it's no joke. I mean, you never want to take anything for granted, that you know where you're going, or that, you know, it's a populated area and everything will be fine. And not take water and food. I'm just gonna put this out there that it's very important to make sure that you always have a backup plan. And when I was in the heart of this lava garden, I just asked my guides, I'm like, what do I do? And they said, keep walking. They told me to keep walking toward the sun because the sun was in the same direction as the lake. And the lake was the direction that I had parked my car. I pulled out my phone and I looked to see if I could get a signal. I tried to text someone and it would not go through. I tried to email and it would not go through. And then I tried to call. And of course I was like, who do I call? And they said, Trisha. Fine choice, I will add. Because Trisha, I knew Trisha could keep it together once I told her that I didn't know where I was. Yeah. And she did, you know, thank God. She didn't answer on the first ring, and then I left a message and she called me right back. And she was like, are you okay? And I'm like, not really. I said, I don't know where I am. I'm trying to keep walking. I've probably been out here for 2 hours. I am thirsty and I'm in the snow. And I just don't know. I don't know where I am. And we tried a bunch of different things for me to try to send her my coordinates, and I just couldn't get anything to go through. So she showed me how to find the coordinates myself, and I would read out the latitude and longitude to her, and and then I realized my phone was dying, that I only had 20% battery left. And so we would get off the phone and she would look up the coordinates and find out where I was and then call me back. And she's like, you just keep walking toward the sun, go toward the water, because if you keep going that way, you're going to get back to the road. And the problem was I couldn't see the road. I couldn't see the road. I couldn't see the water. All I could see was the sun and lava. And that's what I did. And every few minutes, she would call me back and I would give her new coordinates. And then she'd be like, okay, you're headed in the right direction, you know, basically just keep going. And you guys, I don't, I don't know what I would have done if I hadn't been able to call Trisha and actually get her on the phone to help me. I'd like to say that I could have kept it together and just kept walking. I lost the trail so many times. And she'll tell you, because I was like, I lost the trail again. Holy crap, I lost the trail again. Where are the freaking markers, you know? But anyway, so I finally got to the highest point, and when I got to the highest point, I could see the water and I could see the road, and I was just like, oh my God. And I wasn't sure how I was going to still get there, but I just knew, and I found the path again. And I told her, I said, okay, I see the road. I'm going to make my way there, and then I'm going to figure out where the heck I am, and then I'll call you back. And there was like a canyon that I had to go like around the canyon, and then eventually I got to the road. And when I got to the road, there was a car driving by, and I flagged it down, and there were these two very sweet old women that are from here. That was nice. And she was like, are you okay? And I said, no, I've been lost for about 3.5 hours, and I just got right here, and I don't know how to get back to my car. And she was like, where did you park? And I told her where I parked, and she knew where that was, and she was like, get in the back, I'll take you to your car. I was overjoyed. I was like, thank you, God. I was like, you guys, I was so grateful to these women. I was so grateful to Trisha. So thankful to this planet that it was not snowing or raining during any of that process. And that all I had to do was, you know, by the time I got done, my socks were soaked because of the snow being so thick. I kept falling through the snow, not knowing where I couldn't see the path. So, yeah. And only fell one time, bloodied up my knee, but I'm fine. It's all good. So, yeah, I'm just really grateful. And the thought came to my mind a few times out there that I'm going to have to sleep in the middle of a lava field in one of these caves. And I thought, am I meant to die out? I was like, am I meant to die out here? And I was like, I'm just letting you guys know that's not what I had planned. So that was my adventure for the day. And I am now obviously safe back in my car. I am parked at a campsite that is probably one of the most beautiful campsites I've ever seen in my life, because it's out here on the lake and the sun is setting and I can see it from where I am, and I will take videos and post that as well. Yeah, so that you can see where I am. But all right, I just had to share that story because I knew that if I didn't share the story like while I was in the middle of the moment where it was still super fresh on my mind, because it was only about an hour ago that I was lost. So I knew that I would forget details. I would just start forgetting things because I have a feeling that it's going to be important for me to forget some of what happened today so that I can continue to adventure on this journey, because there's still so much more to see. and I don't want to be afraid, you know, when I'm doing it, but I'm definitely going to be smarter. I am going to take my backpack with water and food and make sure my phone is fully charged and all of that. So yeah, note to self. Okay, so I hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for supporting me, for donating, for watching, for being a part of this journey. And again, I knew this would be hard for some of you guys to hear what I went through, but it's a part of it, and I didn't want to leave it out because, yeah, it's just a part of the journey. So it was my day. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. All right. Bye.